forgot your keys. It leaves you wondering, where does the time go? With so much going on, it can be easy to lose sight of your family's well-being. Balance of Nature fruits and veggies.
Welcome in, a little frazzled today. Ice on the roads, didn't get in time to get my, but we'll shoulder on and move forward. Glad you're with us. And we have details on the New Albany shooting and also what happened at the White House and what is going on today.
Get 35% off your first preferred set with free shipping and our money-back guarantee. 2468751. Don't wait. Go to balanceofnature.com.
And very sad to report that a second victim has died from the warehouse shooting in New Albany. That person died this morning at 4:29 a.m. We do not have a name on that victim. We do have a name on the victim who we knew at this time yesterday, some 12 hours after the shooting on Wednesday night at around 10:30 p.m. We knew yesterday at this time that we had one deceased victim. 5 people were wounded, were taken for treatment. And as I said, one of them has died. The suspect in this matter is due to be arraigned in court today, 28-year-old Bruce Reginald Foster III. We're getting some clarity on the weapon that he used and how he arrived at work, how he escaped, where he went after that. This is a culmination of an outstanding effort by law enforcement, multiple agencies, of course, New Albany Police, Columbus Police, U.S. Marshals, and I'm sure others who I'm leaving out or who haven't been credited with their role in this. But it's very, very sad, obviously, that 2 people who just went to work, and I don't know the shifts at this KDC ONE. I don't know if it's KDC 1 or KDC/ONE. I'm not sure exactly what's the proper terminology for the business in New Albany. It's a warehouse where they make, package, ship beauty products. It's extremely sad that 2 people thought they were going to work on any normal night, middle of the week night, and now their families are dealing with the most horrific kind of tragedy that can happen. We don't know the motive for this. Victim's name, the first victim's name, the one who died first in this shooting, is a 30-year-old man by the name of Shakar Champagai, Chapagai. He died at Mount Carmel East Hospital on Wednesday night. So is this a racially motivated thing? I don't know Mr. Chapagay's ethnicity, but it would certainly appear plausible, at least, to assume that he is of non-American descent, given his name. That may be incorrect, but it could be a personal beef. I don't know. That people who work at this place say there were previous incidents. I've not seen any reporting on Bruce Foster, presumed perpetrator of this crime, was someone who had ever been deemed a problem or had a problem with anybody in this warehouse. So there's still a lot of things that we don't know. We also know that the one people who called 911 was one of the victims. We've got some chilling recounting of Paul. Here is what I know, but this is what the person said when they called 911. We've been shot at KC Albany 1. I've been shot. The 911 operator asked, where is the shooter? The victim said, the shooter is still inside the building. I've been shot on my neck and my body is on the floor, but I took the gun away from him. So by that victim have saved lives. New Albany Police Chief Greg Jones at a press conference yesterday, he says, it appears at this point to be a targeted attack. They did caution that the investigation is in its preliminary stages. They do not know at this point in time who Bruce Foster may have been targeting. And they say that he left the facility. Remember, there was, it was said that he did not take a car to work, but that he left in a car. Did he steal the car? Did he not steal the car? No, apparently he arrives at work via a ride-share vehicle. The Uber, could be Lyft, don't know. And he had arranged, I guess, a ride in that vehicle at a certain time. So that tells you that either he was approaching the end of his shift or he pre-planned this to have the ride-share ride waiting on him, and he executed this mass shooting on a schedule that he had planned, knowing that his ride would be out there at the time. There were 150 people inside the warehouse working at the time. The New Albany police say some employees did not know what had happened, in part because of the size of the facility. So the handgun was a Glock 25. It typically holds 10 rounds, but you can buy a magazine where it will hold up to 30, maybe 31 bullets. And so there's a lot of investigation to be done left on this. To figure out the motive. They're trying to figure out a lot about this. And it's just super sad. One thing I read that struck me, this is the first homicide ever in New Albany. First homicide ever in New Albany. So another very sad and tragic aspect of this particular situation. So as we get more details on it, we will let you know, but certainly this is not something that anyone planned on who works there, and we'll just have to wait until we get greater clarity on it. Certainly you hope and pray that the people who are injured and still trying to recover can recover, and you certainly hope and pray that those who lost their lives knew Christ as their Savior, and that they are eternally home today and not in torment. Speaking of that, President Trump this morning spoke at not one but two prayer breakfasts. And President Trump, I pray for President Trump to completely and authentically come to faith. I think it's inarguable to say that God saved his life in the assassination attempt in Butler, Pennsylvania. Here is President Trump saying something that indicates that he might be close. So continue to pray for this if in fact you are a praying person, and if salvation and redemption and restoration is a priority of yours.
From the very beginning of our republic, America has always been a nation founded by people of faith, strengthened by the power of prayer, and united by four simple but very beautiful words: in God we trust.
Yeah, and that's hard to do at times when these kinds of tragedies like what happened in New Albany are impossible, not just hard, impossible to make sense of. But the randomness of life is something that we should be well acquainted with. Wildfires in LA, October 7th attack in Gaza, tornado, random shootings, carjackings. This is something that you need to settle for yourself. You need to make sure that you have determined the one question that everybody in all of humanity will have to determine, and that is, what are you going to do with what Jesus Christ did for you at the cross? Are you going to receive the payment that he made for your sin? Are you going to believe in that? Are you going to trust in that and nothing else, not your good deeds, because your deeds can never be good enough? Or are you going to compare yourself to someone else and say, well, I'm better than that person, so obviously I should be fine? No, it doesn't work that way. And I know you probably have a million things pulling at you, your job, your family, your recreational pursuits. You don't know the day or the hour when something like befell these two unfortunate victims in New Albany who lost their lives in this shooting. You don't know when that may happen to you. You don't know. We live in a world that is awash in ever escalating evil. It is. It's inarguable. Sure, it's better now with Trump in office. I get it, but it doesn't mean that the evil that prowls around may not randomly intersect with your life. Wrong place, wrong time. And if you have not settled that issue, I can give you all the headlines on executive orders and the Middle East and the border and immigration. Nothing I can say to you will have the importance of you prioritizing settling your eternal destiny by investigating what the gospel, which is good news, what the good news of Jesus Christ is. I try not to overload you guys with this, but it is the most important thing in my life. It allows me to live with peace no matter what my circumstances. And regardless of your politics, there's not a single thing in the world that I want for you more than knowing the peace that I have and that all Christians have.
This afternoon, decreasing cloudiness and a bit milder. High today, 48. Partly cloudy tonight, low 27. Sunny clouds, a cold day tomorrow, the high at 36. Sleet and freezing rain late tomorrow night, low 27. Rain, thunderstorm on Saturday, the high at 40. On Sunday, intervals of clouds and sun, the high at 35. And then for Monday, it'll be a cloudy, cool day. High on Monday at 38. I'm Steve Williams on 98.9 FM, The Answer.
Here's great news. If you're planning to attend Valor Christian College as a new student this fall semester, you can receive a $5,000 tuition scholarship for only $2,500. That's right, $2,500 off your first semester for all new students. One scholarship per student. Valor Christian College admission requirements. If you're interested in preparing to enter mainstream or want to delve deeper into God's calling in your life, Valor Christian College in Canal, Winchester may be for you. To learn more, click on shopping at 9890answer.com. Resist the drift. If you're married, you got to know these three words. Let's be honest, every couple experiences the feeling of drifting apart. You get lost in your career path or whatever else, and soon you're more like roommates than soulmates. Resist the Drift Marriage Conference is a fun, heartfelt event presented by Focus on the Family and 98.9 FM The Answer, and it's coming to Genoa Church on February 14th to 15th. Register now at resistthedrift.com. Sponsored by Relationships Under Construction and Adult and Teen Challenge Ohio.
This is an urgent announcement for anyone that's $10,000 or more in debt. This new year, get out of debt now. There are special programs that can completely free you of your debt. Total Financial Freedom can help you become debt-free in months instead of years. In 2025, resolve to get rid of your credit card debt, signature loans, department store cards, internet loans, and timeshares. For almost 20 years, Total Financial Freedom has helped thousands get out of debt. To celebrate 2025, you can start for as little as $99 regardless of how much debt you owe. Total Freedom is A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau and a Christian-owned company. End the endless cycle of payments now. Take a stand. You have the right to get your debt resolved and substantially cut your monthly payments. Call Christian-owned Total Financial Freedom now for a free consultation at 800-533-6605. That's 800-533-6605. 800-533-6605.
Beloved former basketball coach and educator Satch Sullinger knows you got to keep moving to stay healthy. But that's not so easy when your aching joints won't cooperate.
You still start to deteriorate the moment we quit moving.
QC Kinetics regenerative treatments help restore movement in stiff, aching knees, hips, shoulders, and back, using only your natural healing properties to help restore damaged joints. That's a huge positive for Satch.
It's working. And what I really like about it is there's nothing foreign put in my body. Everything that was put in my body has been taken from my body. I love it. I love it. Like I said, I want to live until the day I die.
Get rid of the pain and start moving again. Call QC Kinetics today for your complimentary consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544.
Honest perspective on the issues that matter to you on the Right View podcast.
The country has seen what 40 years of Donald Trump actually looks like. And it's why people feel so hopeful. It's why people feel so positive. We've seen Donald Trump go through all the things he's been through. He had so many headwinds. It's going to be a different time now.
Subscribe to The Right View on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, Rumble, or at SalemPodcastNetwork.com.
Hope you'll make it a priority to prioritize your marriage and making it better, making it more invigorating. It was at one time when you got married, you were head over heels for each other and you were soulmates. Maybe now you've drifted a little bit apart. You're not thinking about getting divorced. You love your wife, you love your husband, but you got to admit the distractions of life, taking care of your kids, your job, this, that, the other, it's just not the same. Well, that's what the whole Resist the Drift Marriage Conference at Genoa Christian Fellowship is about, February 14th and 15th. Focus on the Family and Salem Media presented. Doctors Greg and Aaron Smalley will give you Bible-based principles to help you get back to that feeling you had about your spouse when you said, I do. And you can buy a general admission ticket that'll get you 4 sessions with the Smalleys and a workbook, or you can go for the premium experience where you get reserved seating, continental breakfast, a gift to go with the sessions. Valentine's Day weekend, no better way to tell your spouse you love them than to book tickets at 989theanswer.com to the Resist the Drift Marriage Conference. So I had the pleasure yesterday of sitting and watching live Donald Trump sign the executive order that bans boys and men from playing women's sports, junior high, high school, college, and bars them from women's spaces. And here's a little bit of President Trump signing this executive order, which he promised to do during his campaigning and which he made good on that promise yesterday.
I'll sign a historic executive order to ban men from competing in women's sports. It's about time. Under the Trump administration, we will defend the proud tradition of female athletes.
Yeah, and it is a proud tradition. It dates back 50 years to when Title IX was enacted to give women equal opportunities in sports. We have had numerous amazing female athletes in the United States of America. You know, you watch the Olympics and you're amazed at people like Gabby Thomas and Caitlin Clark's captivated the country with her athleticism. There are a lot of forerunners to that. Lisa Leslie and Nancy Lieberman and FloJo and on and on and on and on. So it's important for everyone to have a role model. It's important for, I don't know anybody who plays sports who doesn't look up to somebody else who plays sports, but it's important for kids to have role models if they're into theater, if they're into music, whatever they're into. It's important for them to have role models. Ideally, your parents are role models. But if you're going to allow boys and men to play women's sports, you are going to, first of all, erase women's sports records. There was a point in yesterday's press conference at the White House where Trump talked about a cycling race in Colorado where a man competing as a woman broke the what was then existing female record for the race by 5 hours. There was another point where he talked about a weightlifting competition where the man who contends they are a woman and was allowed to compete against other women broke the then existing women's record by over 100 pounds. It's a complete and total joke. And we've known it's a complete and total joke since the minute this was allowed to happen, whether it's with the San Jose State volleyball player, whether it was with Leah Thomas in NCAA swimming. And we were in a weird time in America. We were in the middle of the George Floyd riots and the Biden administration and cancel culture, and not enough people stood up and expressed what we all knew to be true. Even the people who advocate for transgender, which is fake, athletes competing against real, authentic women, they know that there's an unfair advantage. But there were, thankfully, enough courageous people, and I couldn't watch yesterday President Trump say what he said and sign what he signed without looking at that sea of women behind him. And by the way, there's been a series of iconic photos of Donald Trump this campaign season. The image from Butler, Pennsylvania, with his fist in the air, the American flag behind him, blood on his ear, iconic. Him working at McDonald's, him on the garbage truck, both iconic. To me, yesterday was also iconic. If you see the photo of Trump standing there signing this executive order with all manner of women behind him, little girls, teenage girls, young women, and their moms standing behind Donald Trump yesterday. As the dad of 3 girls, I sat there and watched that, and I just had such overwhelming gratitude to people like Riley Gaines, Ben Shapiro, Matt Walsh, Andrew Klavan, Megyn Kelly, people who have, maybe at different junctures, but have all gotten on this movement to stand for biological truth, for godly truth, that God made us male and female with different strengths, with complementary characteristics. And I was just sitting there so thankful that I have one daughter in high school now, and it just so happened she was walking through the room as Donald Trump said this.
We will defend the proud tradition of female athletes, and we will not allow men to beat up, injure, and cheat our women and our girls. From now on, women's sports will be only for women.
Now, my daughter's not nearly as deeply into politics as I am. She's got her own routine after school. She's walking through the living room. She hears that from Donald Trump, and she cheered. Now, she plays sports. She hasn't had to encounter any boys trying to play the same sports that she's playing. But it told me that as long as we abided this lunacy, this is a weight that even those who haven't confronted it yet have in their minds that they might somehow, some way have to confront it. So I'm exceedingly thankful to people who have led on this fight, and exceedingly grateful that we have a president who, I thought back to like when my girls were little, and we had a group of about 3 or 4 couples that my wife and I knew we could leave our girls with, and that they'd be safe, right? Like babysitters from our church. And I remarked at the time that there's no greater gift that someone can give to you as a parent than loving your children and protecting your children. Donald Trump's never babysat my kids. But it is so amazingly awesome to have a president who I know loves and wants to protect my girls, and is willing to say true things out loud, put his signature on it, and then invite those little girls around him. You might have seen the picture the other day of Sean Duffy, the transportation secretary, and Rachel Campos Duffy's little Down syndrome daughter, Donald Trump holding her on his lap. And a lot of things about Trump I'd change, but boy, there's sure a lot of things about him that I hope never change. And we saw that yesterday.
With SRN News,
I'm Rich Thomason. Confirmed Attorney General Pam Bondi has hit the ground running, coordinating with Homeland Security to crush the drug cartels. Bondi also cutting sanctuary city funds and is investigating Trump targeting lawfare. Prayer was on the breakfast menu this morning for President Trump. He attended 2 prayer breakfasts, one at the U.S. Capitol, the other at the hotel in D.C. From now on, any school that allows men to compete against girls or women in sports or use their locker rooms risks losing federal Title IX funds. That's under an executive order signed by President Trump. The deadline for federal workers to accept a buyout offer later today. The buyout, part of the Trump administration's drive to trim the size as well as the cost of the federal government. Stocks are mixed on Wall Street. The Dow is down 95 points. The Nasdaq trading 43 points higher. More details, srnnews.com.
Financial Group is not a law firm. If you own a timeshare, don't miss this public service announcement from Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group.
If you receive an unsolicited phone call or mail piece to discuss selling, renting, or especially canceling your timeshare, don't fall for it. If you really want out of your timeshare, hang the phone up immediately or throw that mail piece in the trash and contact your timeshare resort or Wesley Financial Group for assistance with your timeshare. As the only Inc. 500 timeshare cancellation company, our knowledge, experience, and results has made Wesley a trusted resource for over 40,000 families we've helped get out of their timeshare. Give us a call and I'll send you our timeshare exit information kit free with the straight facts about your timeshare and all of your options for cancellation.
Call for your free info kit. 800-885-3333. That's 800-885-3333. 800-885.
News, opinion, passion. Here, 98.9 FM, The Answer, anywhere you go. With The Answer's mobile app at 98.9theanswer.com. Also on your smart speakers. Tune in or iHeart.
Wesley is a truck driver.
I drive a truck and I love what I do.
A truck driver with IRS troubles.
They told me I owed them $43,000.
It got really bad.
Quite a few letters in the mail. They were talking about wage gardening, coming after my house, my car. Yeah, they don't play around. I seriously thought that I was going to lose everything.
One sleepless night, Wesley finally made a call to Optima Tax Relief at 2 a.m.
I kind of figured I'd get a machine, but I didn't. I actually got to talk to an actual person in the middle of the night.
He found just what he was looking for.
Oh, they were great people. You need a team of people that know what they're doing. Optima Tax, they know what they're doing.
Optima Tax Relief came through with flying colors.
I saved an incredible amount of money. I had to go and come close. I was absolutely overjoyed.
Take Wesley's advice.
If you're in any kind of trouble with the IRS, call Optima Tax Relief. Don't trust anybody else.
Call Optima for a free consultation. Call 800-965-1433. 800-965-1433. 800-965-1433.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Planning for retirement is no small task. If you don't know where to start, join Rodney Peters of Peters Wealth Group every Saturday at 10 a.m. for Retire Ready Ohio. Rodney shares helpful tips and strategies that just might change the course of your retirement. Listen every Saturday at 10 and 2, Retire Ready Ohio, with Rodney Peters of Peters Wealth Group. The firm offers insurance services, investment advisory services are offered through Peters Wealth Group, a state-registered investment advisor.
Weekday afternoon, 5 to 6. Tune into The Windsor Report with Jack Windsor, Central Ohio's top drive time show on politics, policies, and personalities. On your station for news, opinion, and passion. 98.9 FM, The Answer.
MyPillow.com is having its, they say, first mega sale. I find that hard to believe, although I know Mike Lindell would never lie to me. He certainly has put his products on sale before. I mean, we talked about getting my pillows for under $20 when about 8 years ago I paid $80 for mine. Back then, of course, Mike Lindell was doing business pre-2020 election, and the attempt to cancel him in the wake of his insistence on election integrity in 2020 got his products removed from big box store shelves. That's worked to your advantage, because if he doesn't have to pay expensive store stocking fees, then you don't have to account for that cost on his bottom line. So that's why the sale prices are ridiculously low. You can get a queen size set of Giza Dream bed sheets for under $60. You can get a standard MyPillow for under $15, all part of the mega sale at MyPillow.com when you use my promo code Bruce. So the cost-cutting efforts at the federal government level, as promised by Donald Trump, continue, and the free cap on the Democratic side is reaching histrionic levels of stupidity. Here is an example: 3 crazy Democrats railing against Elon Musk and how dare DOGE, the Department of Government Efficiency, empowered by Donald Trump, dare look at funding from the U.S. Agency for International Development.
I want to hear it loud and clear. Hey, hey, ho, ho. Elon Musk has got to go.
If Elon Musk wins and our foreign assistance completely ends, who will cheer and who will win? The cartels will win. Terrorists will win.
We will fight their violations of our Constitution of the United States of America. We will not shut up. We will stand up. We will speak up.
This does not work anymore. Like the first guy with the chanting, I don't know who he is. He's some nutcase. The second guy is Chris Coons lying to you. The funding for USAID throughout the world will completely end. No, it won't. We just want to look at the books and see what you're spending your money on and line item out the crazy stuff. And then Cory Booker with the stand up, speak up, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Welcome back to the civil rights movement of the late 1960s, Cory Booker. There's a whole lot more. You got to hear Chucky Schumer and Maxine Waters, 86-year-old Maxine Waters. You won't hear her in this. You'll hear her in another clip that I'll play for you soon if I can locate it on my array. But here is Chucky Schumer going the aging Democrat chanting nonsense route.
Stand with you in this fight, and we will win. 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 We rest. We won't rest. We won't rest. We won't rest. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Leader Schumer.
Yes, thank you, Leader Schumer. He couldn't get any momentum with the we will win, so he went to the we won't rest, and he was similarly received disinterestedly by those in attendance. Now, they are so afraid of having what they've done looked at and examined, which tells you everything you need to know about the justification, the worthiness, the defendability of what they have been doing. If the Democrats don't want government spending to be looked at, they are, as they love to say, on the wrong side of history. Now, this, of course, would not be the first time they have been on the wrong side of history. They've been on the wrong side of history, as we saw yesterday, on women's sports being invaded by men. They are on the wrong side of history when it comes to withdrawing from Afghanistan in the way that they did it. They are on the wrong side of history on just about everything that they have embraced, which is why their approval rating is at 30-some%, and why they got swamped in the last election. Now, since Trump won all 7 swing states and won the popular vote, it is not really productive for Democrats to go after him. So instead, they are going after his surrogate, Elon Musk, who is heading up Doge. They are disparaging the 20-year-olds that Elon Musk has hired, which it's interesting to me that a bunch of Democrats like Schumer and Maxine Waters, who probably couldn't get the 12-12-12 to stop flashing on their VCR unless they contacted one of their grandchildren to do it, are disparaging the brain power of 20-year-olds, including one from the University of Nebraska, who is now working for Musk, who figured out a way to read ancient scrolls that were burned to a crisp in Pompeii by using his brain power combined with AI. But of course, it is the contention of Democrats that these 20-somethings are not qualified to look at government spending and say, 50 grand on a transgender comic book for Peru, I don't think that's quite in line with how real Americans want to spend their money. Here's James Comer, head of House Oversight, talking about the effort to disparage Elon Musk and the convenient scapegoat that Democrats deem Musk to be.
They're gunning for Mr. Musk. I find it ironic that they keep referring to Elon Musk as an unelected bureaucrat or whatever their terminology is they're using when they stood silent over the past 4 years when unelected bureaucrats have seemingly been running our country. They've been operating their agencies without any oversight, without any accountability.
Exactly.
And they've been doing what they wanted to do, whether it was letting employees work from home or enacting policy like forgiving student loan debt when clearly the law didn't state that. I support what Elon Musk is doing. He's being very transparent with the American people. He's tweeting out multiple tweets per hour saying what his goals are, and I think it's what the American people want.
It is what the American people want, and some Democrats are smart enough to recognize that. I don't say very many good things about this guy very often. I'm super glad he lost to J.D. Vance in his bid for the U.S. Senate, but Tim Ryan tweeted yesterday a copy of the Schumer tweet, "We will win, we won't rest." And Tim Ryan's tweet said this: I just don't even know what to say anymore when I see this kind of stuff. Is it Saturday Night Live or real life? Does anyone really think this is the future of the country? This is the only alternative to Trump's America? It is just so depressing. Well, it might be depressing to you, Tim Ryan, but it is not depressing to me, nor is it depressing to me to hear other crazy Democrats chant, rail, and rant about Trump's effort to get government spending under control.
I want to hear it loud and clear. Hey, hey.
Oh, we already played that one. I have 2 cuts on my screen dubbed 3 Crazy Dems. Here we are. This is the fresh 3 Crazy Dems chant.
USAID. Listen to what they've been saying out there.
It's John Roberts introing.
Because an unelected billionaire and his team have been given full unfettered access to our taxpayer money and our government.
Nope.
We know that we work for the American people. And what we're not going to do is stand around when they pull this bull.
We have got to tell Elon Musk nobody elected you.
There you go. There's your crazy Maxine Waters, 86 years old, looking like death warmed over, preceded by Jasmine Crockett, one of the most racist, stupid members of Congress, and some other unidentified moron from the Democratic side. If they really think they're going to curry favor with the American electorate over protesting government spending, over protesting the oversight of government spending, all I can say is keep it up. Keep it up. Please keep it up. Because this is a decidedly unpopular position. And Scott Jennings of CNN picked up on this yesterday. Not just talking about USAID, not just talking about the oversight of that, but talking about Democratic opposition to outlawing boys playing women's sports. It is an interesting mathematical equation that the Democrats are choosing to invest in.
He's describing what is currently the dumbest strategy in politics, which is Democrats taking the 20% side of every 80-20 issue in America. USAID, people want this pared down. They want it streamlined. They want to know where the money is going. Democrats have a meltdown. Today, Donald Trump signs executive order on keeping boys out of girls' sports. Democrats take the 20 side of that issue as well. All these issues, this is like Trump's superpower, finding a bunch of 80-20 issues, getting on the 80, and everybody who's sort of reflexively against him gets on the 20. And now the Democratic Party has like a 31% approval rating. This is why.
Yeah, I'm not a math expert, but I like how that math is working for our side.
This afternoon, decreasing cloudiness and a bit milder. High today, 48. Partly cloudy tonight, low 27. Sun and clouds, a cold day tomorrow, the high at 36. Late freezing rain late tomorrow night, low 27. Rain, thunderstorm on Saturday, the high at 40. On Sunday, intervals of clouds and sun, the high at 35. And then for Monday, it'll be a cloudy, cool day. The high on Monday at 38. I'm Steve Williams on 98.9 FM. The Answer.
Owning a home is a dream come true, but keeping it comfortable? Temperature Pro understands that your HVAC system is the heart of your home's comfort. When it needs attention, you deserve service that's fast, transparent, and reliable. More than just a repair company, they're your home's partner, offering professional service that respects your space and your family. For routine maintenance or an unexpected breakdown, trust Temperature Pro to keep your home running smoothly with no surprises on pricing. Temperature Pro, your comfort is our promise.
Hi everyone. If you've been injured in an accident that was not your fault, listen up. We have legal professionals standing by to answer your questions for free. Call now and find out if you have a case and how much it's potentially worth. Call 800-504-8790. I'm here with spokesman John Wolf. So John, tell everyone listening who should call right now.
Well, Maria, first off, thank you for having me here. It's always nice to answer the listeners' questions. Now, as far as who should call in, anyone who's been injured in an accident and think you deserve compensation, give us a call right now. 800-504-8790. You'll find out if you have a case and how much it's potentially worth.
Thanks, John. You heard it, folks. Take advantage of this opportunity and call now. 800-504-8790.
Advertisement sponsored by Legal Help Center may not be available in all states.
Bad decisions limit future options. Making enough bad decisions, you will destroy your life. Listen to The Flock Line with your host Rick Hughes every Sunday morning at 8 here on 98.9 FM The Answer. The Flock Line describes a main line of resistance in your soul built on God's Word. Join us every Sunday for 30 minutes of inspiration, motivation, education, all without manipulation. That's The Flock Line with Rick Hughes. Sunday mornings at 8, right here on 98.9 FM, The Answer.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. If you own a timeshare, don't miss this public service announcement from Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group.
If you receive an unsolicited phone call or mail piece to discuss selling, renting, or especially canceling your timeshare, don't fall for it. If you really want out of your timeshare, hang the phone up immediately or throw that mail piece in the trash and contact your timeshare resort or Wesley Financial Group for assistance with your timeshare. As the only Inc. 500 timeshare cancellation company, our knowledge, experience, and results has made Wesley a trusted resource for over 40,000 families we've helped get out of their timeshare. Give us a call and I'll send you our timeshare exit information kit free with the straight facts about your timeshare and all of your options for cancellation.
Call for your free info kit. 800-885-3333. That's 800-885-3333. 800-885-3333.
I'm sorry, ma'am, but you need to vacate this home.
Why, officer? I own this home 3 years. I lived here for 40 years.
Well, unfortunately, this paperwork says otherwise.
But I have nowhere else to go.
I'm sorry to hear that, ma'am.
This story is becoming all too common in the U.S. Scammers are preying on people with high equity or who own their homes free and clear of a mortgage. Only one company completely protects you. That's Equity Protect. Get your free risk report by texting the word home to 94878. Again, text the word home to 94878. Your free risk report from Equity Protect.
If you're looking to explore the possibility of a flooring remodel project at your home or business, I'd love to help you with it. Go to brucehooley.com and click flooring, because I can help you out, whether it's residential, whether it's commercial, whatever kind of flooring you are looking for in the carpet or luxury vinyl plank realm, got you covered. With all kinds of the top name brands, we have our own installers. We will get the product in faster and install it sooner and save you money. I can promise you that. So go to brucehooley.com, click flooring, fill out the form with your contact information. Tell me a little bit about your project, and I'll be out to see you, just like I was out to see a business owner in Upper Arlington the other day, just like I was visiting with a residential customer yesterday afternoon. I'd love to help you. We service any area within 50 miles of Columbus, and I've really enjoyed getting to know many of you who get to know about my flooring endeavors through this program. So Let's meet. Let's get your project moving. BruceHooley.com. Click flooring. BruceHooley.com. Click flooring. So my guess is you're going to see on local news and certainly in the local fish wrap all kinds of histrionic stories about how awful and terrible it is and how Armageddon will ensue with a charitable agency because Elon Musk and his band of spending hawks are looking at USAID and its funding. A case in point. Today, story in the Columbus Dispatch. Dismantling of USAID could cripple Worthington Charity's efforts in Honduras. Okay, so the key word in that headline is could. They're trying to create in your mind the idea that, oh my goodness, there's this really benevolent charity in Worthington that's doing great work in Honduras. And by Elon Musk going in and checking the books at USAID, a lot of people in Honduras, kids in Honduras with HIV, are not going to receive the medicines that they have been receiving from USAID. Nobody in the Trump administration has said that everything USAID does throughout the world is corrupt and that every expenditure needs to be ended. What they have said instead is some of the expenditures on some of the things they have specifically articulated are a complete waste of U.S. taxpayer money. And we're also getting to the real reason why Democrats so resent the examination of USAID's books, which is that it has been a front organization for CIA operations in countries around the world where the CIA could not operate and be in compliance with U.S. law. So they fund USAID, Congress does. USAID finds a non-governmental organization. And I'm not saying this Worthington charity is one of them. I'm just saying that there are charities, wink winky, that are willing to do things that are illegal because they're paid off. And it's highly profitable for them to do it. So you'll see this story if you look at the Dispatch website, which, hopefully you have better habits than that. But it's just so transparently duplicitous how they write these stories. At least one of the projects the White House memo called ridiculous could mean life or death. At least one of the projects. The memo called ridiculous. Did they call the Honduran charity from Worthington ridiculous? No, they didn't. Because it says could mean life or death. Will mean life or death? No, we don't know if it will. But they want you to think it will. Who are served by an Ohio-founded and supported nonprofit. Okay, if your nonprofit is great and doing a great job and serving kids in Honduras, my guess is you're going to be fine. You're going to have all the money you want. What we're trying to do at USAID with the examination is end garbage like this. Michael Schellenberger, investigative journalist, saying, oh, while they're funding, let's say, a great charity from Worthington helping kids with HIV in Honduras, here's what else USAID has done in the past.
The House of Representatives impeached President Trump in December of 2019. Many people may not remember that it was a CIA analyst who was left over from the Obama White House who wrote the memo that led to the impeachment. It was all based on hearsay. The person had not actually been in the room with Trump. Nonetheless, this memo that he wrote relied heavily on a report done by an organization funded by USAID. In fact, its initial founding funding, now it's tens of millions of dollars, had gone into this group called the Organized Crime and Corruption Reporting Project, a name that's not very memorable, OCCRP, but it was basically created as an extension of the State Department and then of USAID. And this is very serious to be involved in an effort to do regime change at home, as we've been discovering as the files have come out with what Elon Musk has been doing. We know that USAID was really about regime change abroad. It was a kind of public-facing part, regime change operation like CIA, but not covert, more overt. Well, now you see a similar blowback, just like they did censorship abroad and brought censorship tools back on. They were doing this sort of thing abroad, creating a predicate, essentially, for Trump's impeachment.
Is that something that an agency of the United States government under the supervision of the chief executive should be doing? Funding a bogus accusation that leads to his impeachment? I don't think so, but Democrats think so. You can always tell sometimes how much you're getting to a person by how vociferously they protest your questions. I mean, this goes back to Shakespearean times, right? Methinks thou dost protest too much. So it's not the charity for the HIV-afflicted kids in Honduras that is the issue. The issue are shady CIA-linked operations. And by the way, everybody at the CIA has been offered the opportunity that will expire for some federal employees today at 5 p.m., I think it is, or maybe it's midnight tonight. Chance to retire, resign with benefits for 8 months in order to get out. If you can't get on board, get off the train, because the Trump train is moving forward. It's moving forward with Elon Musk. The Democrats want to fire Elon Musk. There's just one problem. Elon Musk is a volunteer. He's not being paid. I dare say that it's possible for bureaucrats in Washington to perhaps target and maybe even exterminate somebody's job if they actually have a paid position on the federal payroll. But when you are the richest man in the world, quite possibly the smartest man in the world, and you are volunteering your time to cut government spending, which is, again, as Scott Jennings of CNN says, is an 80-20 position, most Americans are of the belief that the American government spends a lot of money in a lot of places that make no sense. For instance, USAID funded $47,000 for a transgender opera in Colombia, $32,000 for a transgender comic book in Peru, $2 million to advocate for LGBT activism in Guatemala, and $70,000 for a DEI musical in Iceland. Drop in the bucket compared to all federal money? Yes, true. Defendable expenses for the U.S. government? Excuse me, for you and I to be funding? No. No, no. So Chucky Schumer can chant all he wants to about we will win, we will not rest. No, actually, Chuck, you will not win this. And if the last election didn't prove it to you, the next one will. Keep pushing back on this. Please, please. Continue to portray yourself as the resistance. Continue to portray yourself as being on the right side of history when you oppose things that the American public has rejected out of hand. The tide has turned. We are tired of this. We will not swallow it anymore. Your arms are not strong enough to force it down our throats. As you began to do in 2008 in Barack Obama's first term, continued to do in his second term, and really did a lot in Biden's term or Obama's third term.
Is not an offer. If you own a timeshare, don't miss this public service announcement from Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group.
If you receive an unsolicited phone call or mail piece to discuss selling, renting, or especially canceling your timeshare, don't fall for it. If you really want out of your timeshare, hang the phone up immediately or throw that mail piece in the trash and contact your timeshare resort or Wesley Financial Group for assistance with your timeshare. As the only Inc. 500 timeshare cancellation company, our knowledge, experience, and results has made Wesley a trusted resource for over 40,000 families we've helped get out of their timeshare. Give us a call.
Wow, great audience today. Appreciate you guys a lot. Hope you have a great day.
great facts about
And I'll be back tomorrow.
and all of your options.
Friday already. Amazing. Drive safe today. Could be icy out there. Take care, and I appreciate your attention. It's flattering that you tune in, so thank you very much. Have a great day.
Download our apps and stream us 24/7.